Well, thank you for having me here. When I was told I had 2 minutes to talk, I decided I better write it up because otherwise I'll talk to you for 10 minutes. First, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure to meet so many of the fellows over a number of occasions. I am so encouraged about the future of aging services, just knowing the quality of people in this room, and so I thank you for that. I was asked to talk about the innovation of SASH, which is Support and Services at Home, a program that's statewide in Vermont. So we began working on this innovation in 2005, 8 years ago. And the reason that we started working on it was that we knew the world of affordable housing was absolutely going to change dramatically in the next few years. We just didn't know whether the change was going to be a good change or a very bad change. And so we were looking at some trends. We were looking at the fact that housing was going to become the dominant setting for nursing home care. We were clear that housing was going to be eaten alive by Medicare and Medicaid budgets. And it was clear that our residents were in serious risk because of all their health care needs. And so throughout the last 8 years, I've been really fortunate to be motivated by two people in my life. One is my father, who lived in a nursing home for 4.5 years and died there. And second, my sister, who has very advanced MS and has suffered from a horrible lack of a long-term care system in this country. So the idea behind SASH was to make housers absolutely essential to health care reform, absolutely essential to state government. So they couldn't do without us. And so we decided we were going to do that by being the source of the best, most accurate, timely information on the highest spenders. We decided that we're basically technicians. And so we were going to be the source of innovation and technology. And we decided that we were going to take on a whole new use. We were going to become the hub of services in the community. So mapping out all of us, you know, there's thousands of us. And last, we decided we were going to be a statewide organizing unit, and that's really important, that we were going to be an agent for systems change. And that's really key. Sometimes people often say, well, tell me about the SASH program. I say, it is not a program. Programs are, you either do this program or you do that program. Programs compete with each other. And what we decided to do with SASH is to say, as a systems change, we're going to change the power relationships that exist so everyone's in, but the relationship with each other significantly changes. I think one of the ways to measure the degree of change that you're going through is the amount of resistance that you face. And if that's the definition, SASH is big change. Because we have enormous resistance, have all along. I wanted to talk about opportunities because innovation requires opportunities to come your way and for you to see them and recognize them for that and jump on it. I mean, one was a Medicare demonstration that came to our state, and we decided, well, let's get on that ship. Another was a physician mentor who was the dean when I worked at the College of Medicine, and I said, I just have to somehow get her involved because she's an ice cutter. You know when the lake freezes over in the winter? She's the ice cutter. And third, we decided to form our own LeadingAge Vermont chapter. We used to be part of Maine and New Hampshire, and that was lovely. But you can't galvanize advocates if you say we're here in Montpelier at the State House from New Hampshire. No. We've had a number of crucible moments, many, and they both involve resistance. And I'm coming to learn there are two kinds of resistance. One is where you just don't, I have failed to communicate to someone why this is so important, why they should love it. But the second form of resistance is when you're going after their control or their money. And what I think I've learned is that in that case, you have to strategize around it because they will never give up that resistance. In May this year, SASH will be in 80 affordable housing sites around Vermont. And now we are a key information source on data. We dump our data right into the state's clinical registry. We're moving on a telemedicine payment reform pilot project. We hope to move the dime on payment reform. And third, we think we've protected the housers in Vermont from the vulnerability of HUD's decision to say spend your residual receipts before you get RSC grants. We think we've built in some buffer there in terms of budget protections. So what I've learned about innovation is, first, you have to be really patient. I was planning on having this done in 2008, and I'm still slogging away. But be persistent. And I know you guys all talk about the balcony. For me, just frequently getting up on the balcony and literally talking to the people that have motivated me, like talking to my late father, just like remembering why you do this because it's such hard work is really important. So thank you for being great leaders and best wishes.